put this down for a second because I'm going to go into the chat room real quick, and I can't do two at once, so I'm just going to go like that. And
all right, Kimla, when the music fades out, you'll be live.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome. You're listening to Kimla and Company, only on Beacon of Light Radio. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited this evening. You know, I always get so excited when I have a guest because it's such a treat for me, and I get to chit-chat with them and really kind of get my spirit up for our time together. So I'm your host, Kimla Dodds, and if you would like to learn more about my services and what I do, you can always go to my website at kimladodds.com. Just a little blurb. I'm an astrologer, Chinese and Western. I'm also a psychic medium. I read palms, I read faces, I read auras, I read tarot cards. I am a channeler for guides and angels. I am also a feng shui practitioner as well. I studied with the Chinese masters for a long time, and all they made me do is meditate. Really, that's the key, that's the secret, and it was absolutely phenomenal for me. So I'm running a little bit of specials. You can check it out. I also just had a wonderful invitation to be included into a directory of spiritual leaders for 2018. You can get that directory on my website, or you can go to Amazon.com and look for the Spiritual Leaders Directory. And I want to say a shout out to Lisa. Thank you so much, my publisher. It's the Visionary Insight Press who has published that, and we're a great group. I love to write in groups. It's just so much more fun, and we really do market each other every time someone mentions it. So there hasn't really been anything like this. It's kind of a collection of spiritual leaders and all of their information, how to get a hold of them, and all of the specific work that they do. So such an honor. I'm very humbled to be included in that. So thank you so much to Lisa for putting that together for all of us. Hey, this hour is brought to you by Plethora Boutique, located at Point Pleasant Borough, New Jersey. I know my daughter runs the boutique with Amy, and they are two firecrackers, let me tell you. You can shop on by. It's like a gift shop, a boutique, and just the trendiest stuff going down. There's artwork, there's handcrafted jewelry, there's local t-shirts. It's all about serving the community. They stand by the school, and they have fundraising, and they've got just wonderful artists that come in, and they make their own, like I said, their paintings, their postcards, candles, everything you can imagine. It's just a wonderful little shop, and it's one of those little shops where you come in and you make friends, and you're kind of like, it's a magnet. You're kind of like drawn in there. The best part about it is they ship to wherever you are. Catch them on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I think I'm leaving one out, but you know it. So be a friend and go to Plethora Boutique. Make sure you shop on by. Okay. Hey, everybody, we're coming into the chat room right now on Facebook. You can go over into the little search bar on the upper left-hand corner and just type in Beacon of Light Radio Chat. And my wonderful, talented, intuitive, gorgeous producer, Charity Minton, is going to be organizing that. So you can come on in. I see Tracy LaCroix is in. Oh, hey, I haven't seen you in forever, girlfriend. Your light is shining so brightly. Thank you so much for joining the show. Bridget's here as well. Hey, Bridget, how you doing? Andy's here. We had Andy Wilbury Smith here last week, and he has a wonderful music show as well. He was my special guest. We had a lot of fun talking about music, and if you would like to perhaps listen to the replay at your convenience, you can go to SoundCloud.com, and you can also go to my website because I have all the shows on my website too. And Jennifer is here. Jennifer has her show on Tuesday nights. Hey, Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us. I also want to say hey to Mr. Bill. I also want to say hey to Jennifer Crockett as well. Hello. I want to also say hey to my sister Carla. She's listening from Cleveland, Ohio. I also have a very good childhood friend, Sue. She listens in on the West Coast. And I want to say hey to Miss Sheila, wherever you are tonight, and also my very good friend, both of our very good friends, as a matter of fact, Miss Julie. Hello, Jules. I want to say hey to her as well. She's in Florida. And we've got so many people. Vikram, he is in Sri Lanka. There's so many people that listen. Cecilia, up in Sweden, and there's so many people. This is such a wonderful international vehicle and platform for everybody. We have got a jam-packed show for you tonight. I usually do the star update. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly tonight because I have a guest, and I don't want to be rude and keep her waiting because she's absolutely fabulous. She's been my spiritual friend for years. She's an intuitive medium herself. She is an empath. You know, she does readings. She's an angel practitioner, an angel card practitioner. She has been tuned in for as far as she can probably remember. But, you know, in order to really direct that energy and really provide a service for all, you know, there's really has to be a little bit of cultivation and tuning in. And she's going to be talking about her near-death experience. However, she terms it as a near-love experience. So we're going to talk about NDEs, that's what it's called, near-death experience, right? We're going to talk about that. What is it? And she's going to explain her experience, and she's going to explain a lot about tuning into the other side and the vibrations that are all around us. So stay tuned for that. So right now, let's get this party started. Come on, let's do the star update. Okay, I am so happy you're with me tonight. It is Thursday, August 2nd, and I want to say a shout out in heaven to my pop. He's having a heavenly birthday, so happy birthday, Pop, up there. I know you're having a great time. The moon is in Aries, and when the moon's in Aries, we want to start new things. We get that kind of I can do anything kind of thing. But what's holding us back is Saturn's in retrograde, Mercury's in retrograde, and Mars is in retrograde. So we want to go ahead so badly, and then everything is pulling us back. So use that particular inspiration and that particular go forward energy for doing some things that will make your life easier. Instead of producing it on the outside, try to make your inside, try to rev up your soul, try to take care of the body, try to balance your inner and your outer during this time with all these retrogrades, okay? You're going to feel so much better. We've got the weekend coming up. August 3rd, we've got the moon going into Taurus. Taurus is the earthy bull sign. They don't like to travel very much. They don't like to explore or change the scenery or change the schedule very often. It's going to be absolutely having a wonderful aspect with Uranus. So I feel like Taurus people, like I said, they don't like to change. Surprises are good, but they get nervous if something throws them off a little bit. So I want every little bull out there to kind of relax, go with the flow. Have a good time with change if you can, because change is going to come up for you on Friday in a very big way. Some people may stop over, spur of the moment, and, make sure that you have some munchies and some good things. Taurus people love to cook. They love to eat. They love abundance. They love comfort. They love their own sacred space. So make sure that you open yourself up so that you can share that. Okay. We've also got Saturday, and Taurus is still going to be in, the moon is still going to be in Taurus, but it's going to be right next to an asteroid. Now, this particular asteroid is named Juno, and it was actually founded in 1805. And Juno was actually the wife of Jupiter. And they had this wonderful relationship, even though the boundaries on the relationship got a little muddled to what we know as a partnership or a marriage today. But it's all about intimacy. The asteroid Juno is all about partnering, the real intimacy, not really the illusion. It's really about sharing on a soul-to-soul basis. So my pick for date night is definitely Saturday night. I mean, this is absolutely the time when you can have that intimate relationship with someone that perhaps you've been cultivating or you've wanted really to get pretty serious. Juno's going to help you make the move, and it is going to be the truth between you. So your vibe is going to be shared on a very deep, personal, and intimate level. Doesn't that sound awesome? I know. Okay, Sunday. We've got August 5th. The moon is going to go void, of course. It's coming to the very end of Taurus. So Sunday morning is going to be bright and shiny. It's going to be good for taking hikes. It's going to be good for working in the garden, cutting the lawn, doing anything that has to do with Mother Earth herself. As we get towards the end of Sunday evening, it's going to flatten out. You're going to kind of lose gas a little bit. So it's almost going to be like you're just going to want to kind of chill, hang out, have the family in close, and just kind of perhaps relax at home a little bit, listen to some nice music. I see desserts everywhere on Sunday night, so so I really hope that you take a slice or a bite or even a nibble, okay? Because I really feel like it's time for a little bit of a sweet, okay? Monday, we've got the planet of love, Venus. Venus is also about higher money, channeling higher money. It is moving into the air sign of Libra. When Venus moves into Libra, it is exalted. It is one of the highest energy signs that Venus can really empower. So all you Libras out there, if you have your Venus in Libra, if you have your moon, your rising, or your sun sign, you are going to be absolutely overboard with charm. You're going to look lovely. You're going to be very magnetic. You're also, if you're waiting to meet the one will be there. And so partnerships can happen. It could be a very, very peachy blossom sweet time when Venus is in Libra. Also, it's a great time to go shopping. You're going to find things that really look good on you. You know how sometimes you go shopping when you have I've got to go get a dress for an occasion, and you can't find anything that looks good on you. Even when you have a lot of money or a coupon or points or whatever you have, right? But this is not the case. This is when you're going to find the whole outfit, the shoes, the jewelry, the handbag, the dress, the whole 9 yards. So go for it. Design is in your future. Okay, when we come around to Tuesday, we have an interesting mix on Tuesday. I kind of like it, actually. Uranus, that rules Aquarius, is going to be going retrograde. Now, Uranus is one of those planets that moves kind of slowly, but packs a punch. It's a rebellious, genius, independent, futuristic planet. When it goes inward, it prepares not only the earth, but it prepares our psyches, our energy, on a global stance as well. It really strengthens the little independent warrior that each of us do hold some of that energy. And if you can imagine, it's not going to go direct until January 6th of 2019. So Uranus in your chart, if you haven't had your chart done yet, let me explain it to you. Book an hour with me and we'll have a blast. But I'll show you exactly how to use that energy of Uranus going into retrograde. Also on Tuesday, we've got Venus trining Mars. So you're going to love what you do. You're going to love your life purpose. You're going to love what you do for a living. You are just going to love it, love it, love it. Even though Mars is in retrograde right now, you are really going to love it. So I feel like if you're going to have a meetup or a matchup or something like a computer dating thing, or you're going to have an after dinner, walk, or if you're going to meet up with a group and maybe have a topic on something, you are just going to love the topic. You're going to love how it goes. So anybody out there who's broadcasting on Tuesday night, you're just going to love what happens. So stay tuned to Beacon of Light Radio on Tuesday night because you're going to love all the shows and all the entertainment that's happening. On Wednesday, August 8th, we've got a great day for travel. Yeah, we got a great day for travel. The sun is actually kissing Mercury, even though Mercury's in retrograde, in Leo at 16 degrees. So everything is, Leos love to do everything on a grand scale. So when Mercury's in retrograde, it pulls it back so that we can actually assimilate it. Some of us that perhaps aren't on the grand scale of those lions, we can actually take it bite by bite and go, oh my gosh, this is a great day. And wear gold. Wear gold versus silver, because gold is really going to be energized. If you have anything to do with walking in the sun or taking in the sun, or sometimes what we do in feng shui is we take our pillows and we put them out in the sun. It really catches a lot of that yang energy, and it works with the yin as you're sleeping to provide a nice balance and a very healthy sleep at night. So I totally would advise you to take your pillows out in the sun on Wednesday and capture some of that really good, secure, balanced dream time for Wednesday night. I'm going to meet you right back here on Thursday, August 9th, because Venus is going to be squaring Saturn. So we really might want to just take our charge cards and put them way far back in the back of the closet and not spend any money on that day. But what we want to do is we want to talk about love, and we want to open our heart chakra. So I may do a heart meditation as well. Have a great week ahead, because you know what? We got to prepare. We've got Saturday. We've got the new moon partial eclipse coming up. It's a solar eclipse. And this is in Leo as well. This is a friendly one, guys. This is one to have some fun with. Party on, okay? It's going to be my pick for date night. It's going to be opening doors. I see windows opening, doors opening. I see roadblocks disappearing. I see the fog lifting. I see some great stuff coming on board, because we're starting to form an Earth trine. Earth is financial gains, okay? Things are going to start percolating. Things are going to just very slowly start, because when these planets decide to go direct at the end of August, you better be ready. Better have your ducks in a row. Yeah, that's right. You better have your plan in place, because you're going to be behind the 8 ball if you don't. And I'll tell you what, you want to be right there. The early bird gets the worm, okay? So this is going to be a wonderful time. It's a wonderful, friendly eclipse. Don't be scared. Don't spread the fear. This is going to be the time when you go out and you gather in your best buds and you toast to life itself. So there you go. That's the star update. I'm going to now switch gears. Thanks so much for coming along with me for that. Oh, Vonda's in the chat room. Hi, how how are you doing? Susan's there, Elizabeth's there, Norella's there. And Bill is there too. If I have not, if I have not said your name, just post again, and I'll make sure that I do. I really appreciate you all being along for this hour. Let me introduce my guest. Like I said, she is my spiritual friend, and I've just watched her absolutely gain so much confidence in her intuition, in the listening to her soul, and experiencing the depth of her service and what she has to give. Her name is Mary Karman. She's going to talk to you all about her wonderful experiences as a medium, a psychic medium, and an intuitive soul that can kind of light the path on your way. So let's bring her on. Put your hands together. Hey, Mary, how are you?
The crowd goes wild. Hello, Kimla and Company. Thank you for having me on. I am just absolutely enlightened and excited to be here tonight. I really am. I've been looking forward to this all week. And you know that there are 7 planets in retrograde right now.
Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm everyone, do we? Do we? We take astrology one bite at a time here on the show because, I just don't want to overwhelm everybody. But, it's really fun when we do have the retrogrades because there's so much growth from our soul perspective. So I really kind of like that.
Reviewing everything and reflecting. It's a great time with Mars, or Mercury. So everybody flips out about that, but Mars too, but it's a time for reflection. I think it's a beautiful time. You're right.
Yeah. So the topic tonight, near-death experiences, what is that exactly? I mean,
near-death experiences, sometimes I've heard that people have gone, not even experienced an actual death. They felt that they were going to die. Women in childbirth have experienced this. It can encumber anything from a time where I had a client tell me thought they were going to get into a car accident and actually had that out-of-body experience. And so it can really cover a lot of area. Mine, like you said, I've coined as a near-love experience. And I loved how you put that we're going to share a lot of love tonight. This is what we're here to do as these eternal beings. So when I had mine, it was December 7th, 2010, which for those history buffs out there happens to be Pearl Harbor Day. And I had my own bombing going off in my head at that time. I was in the hospital getting ready to leave after a minor surgery. We know there's no such thing. And I hit the corner of the toilet. My life was literally and figuratively in the toilet. And so I was gone for 4 minutes and 44 seconds, which those of you that are into numerology has to do with angel numbers.
Right.
And at that time, I remember looking down at this person and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all that blood from that head wound and that naked body. Somebody needs to help her. And as soon as I realized it was me, I went through like a G-force. And I did not see a light. I did not go through a tunnel. I did not see any deities. I had this overwhelming feeling of love. The closest word that I can come in the English language is ecstasy, filled my whole spirit. I never felt alone. I had a guide on my right side, a male, and a female on my left side at that time. Mm-hmm. And I went through, I guess you could say it was like a light. Colors were vibrant, beyond description from here. But the feeling of that unconditional love was overwhelming. And that's why I couldn't call it a near death. There was no death. And so I switched that up a little bit to say a near love experience. From that time on, I had these gifts as a child, and it was a remembering for me to remind me of these gifts that I had buried as a child, I was raised in a very strict religion, and two of them to be exact. My father Catholic, my mother LDS, and so at the age of 8, I was told to be seen and not heard. And so I buried them that deep that it took this experience to bring them back into, like I said, a remembering. So that's where I went from there. I instantly had to learn to filter. I was in a hospital and I'm talking and seeing people that weren't actually there. The veil was completely gone. I was able to see, hear, feel, and know things that were going on in other parts of the hospital. People would come in and visit me because of what I knew then was my light. And that's where I've, come with my company's name is the Heart Light Healing. And I could see each intelligence, if you would, on the other side had that. Some call it the Sacred Heart, Christ consciousness. And I could just see that each intelligence had that heart light within them. And there was many that were grouped together that had what I would call soul families, not necessarily blood families. And I thought that was really interesting. Their vibration and their frequencies were on the same level. So that was really an eye-opener for me too, that we come with soul families, not necessarily sometime by blood. So I think now we're seeing this more and more where, our vibes starting to attract our tribes. I see it more and more. So that was another thing that I noticed was, we are all eternal beings, that there was a continuing on, that there was no judgment. There was not a life review by any chance. I was shown from the time of creation up until that point, and then from there forward of what I was supposed to do. I was an elementary school teacher, and after having this experience going into a classroom, that was really difficult, being able to see and know what was going on with those little ones. And I was calling DCFS, which is Division of Family Services, every week, and they're going, well, what evidence do you have? How do you know? And I'm like, their dead grandfather's with them, Archangel Michael. So I left that career, 2 years short of retirement, to go into a different kind of teaching, and haven't looked back. It's just a different avenue of being able to get messages out.
Wow, that was amazing. First of all, just to, survive what happened to you, but second of all, to remember all of that. So when you think about that, is that still like crystal clear to you?
Very much so. Very much so. Even when I talk about it again, I get that overwhelming sense of that love and that feeling of homesick almost when I start talking about it. But I think that's what we're here to do, though, is to bring heaven on earth.
Right.
That when it's so needed right now with everything that you see that's fear-based. Right. And that is the opposite of love. And if we can get past the differences and be able to look at each of us as humankind, that kindness, and get back to that. We're all different on the outside, and we're all, unique in our own given right, but we're still all the same on the inside. We still have a beating heart, and that's what I love to refer it back to, is getting heart-centered.
Wow. So when you came back into your body after experiencing all of this, did you kind of crash and burn? Were you disappointed? Yeah. Did you wake up and go, "Oh no"?
Yeah. Like trying to put in the morning we feel this sometimes too. It's like trying to put your hand into a glove that doesn't quite fit. It's just tight and dense, and it's like slamming yourself back into this. But I really started thinking about when they say, "Oh, you chose to come back." That really did sit well with me for a lot of years. I'm like, "Oh, I know I wouldn't have done that had I had known what I was getting into for here." But it is there. We are these souls that are coming in now and have chosen to be here at this amazing pivotal point in history and in time to be able to shift the consciousness of our planet into a love-based, where there will be heaven on earth. There will be, you know, wars and battles as a history, and not have to experience this anymore. I know that we are moving into that higher consciousness, you know, that we're definitely seeing each other, you know, across the, you know, other side of the world, and knowing that that is still, you know, part of our human kind.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you know, just in case some listeners out there have no idea what a near-death experience is, if you've never heard about it before, or you've never experienced any kind of surgery or a wound or anything, if you've never been in that particular state of mind, let me kind of read this. A near-death experience is a personal experience associated with death or impending death. Such experiences may encompass a variety of sensations, including detachment from the body, feelings of levitation, total serenity, security, warmth, the experience of absolute dissolution, and the presence of a light. Some NDEs are recognized part of either a religious belief, transcendental, and also an experience in an afterlife. So just so you know, I was doing a little research on this about, you know, how many people actually have this, and these studies go way back. I mean, way back to the 1800s. And yeah, there was a French psychologist. His name was Victor Egger, and in 1890, he was one of the philosophers that had a study done, and he compiled all these stories. And every time somebody had like a very a treacherous accident, let's say they were climbing or they were on a horse, or you know, something, or soldier, or someone who really suffered some horrible type of an injury, they all had a story to tell about having a near-death experience. They also said people who have almost drowned, people who have, you know, fallen off of buildings or ladders, people who have also tried to take their own life as well. So there were, you know, all of these stories. So way back when is when they started to compile these types of things. Now, in 1968, Celia Green published an analysis of 400 first-hand accounts of out-of-body experience. Now, this was the first time that they've really kind of gone past, well, it was just an hallucination, or, you know, you had a head injury or something like that. They started to take it really serious in 1975 when a psychiatrist, Raymond Moody, and he's the one who coined the term near-death experience. Now, there have been a lot of, you know, this has been a hot topic, you know, right, Mary, with all the movies and everything coming out. Yeah. Have you seen some of them?
Yes, definitely.
What did you think?
I think a lot, like you said, is based on a religious belief, and that's what's going to be comfortable for each person individually when they cross or go through the veil. That's what they're going to be greeted by. And that's why I didn't see any deities. I didn't see even my parents. I'm like, well, I can't coin this as a near death because like I didn't even get to see them. And I think that a lot of it is based on your belief here that you're greeted by, or that you encounter on the other side, so that you do have that unconditional love, that experience that's a positive. And I know that there are some out there that have been, you know, that aren't so positive, but for the most part, they really truly are.
Right.
And Moody was the one that flew on the butterfly, and because he was he was a psychiatrist, he had the background of, the medical field. he definitely had a different experience than most NDEs, going through the light and, seeing deities. So that one, I just loved to hear his story too, because he definitely did a turn on it.
Yes, yes, he did. So my experience in this is, I think I was probably maybe 15, 16, something around there, maybe even 1 year later, 17. And I was babysitting my two younger brothers. My parents were gone or something, and I just came down with this raging chill and fever, chill, fever, chill, fever. And I had no idea what was going on. And the boys weren't like little or anything like that, but, they were probably 12 or something. And I said, just watch TV for a little bit. I'm just going to lay down. And literally, I found myself with such a high fever that I literally separated from my body.
Yes.
Flew all the way to the very, very top of the room. Look down, and that was right. When you look down and you see that you have separated from your body.
You're like, what's this? That's me, and this is me. That's when there's that instant, conflict. Like, then what is this? And that's where people really, come to terms that there has to be something else. And that's the bottom line, that there is no death. We are eternal beings, and we do go on. Our spirit, our soul.
That just went out on me.
Oh, sound out.
Okay.
No.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. So, exactly. So, but the funny part about it is, even though I was separated from my body, my personality was still there. Like, my brain kept thinking and kept feeling, and I'm like, why am I up here? And then it was weird. It was like I had a sensation that I had arms and legs, and yet I was absolutely weightless.
Yes.
And I thought, I don't really have arms and legs, but I have something like them, like appendages or something.
Almost like the feeling of, when an amputee still can feel that energy's there. And that is what we are made up of, is that energy. And if you think about it, even our planet is made up of energy. The magnetic poles that run through us, that run through our, Earth. And that's the same thing, is that we're made up of that energy. And I was thinking about that the other day, where our Earth is made of 70% water. What else do we know that's made of 70% water? Us. And so there is a connection there. But it's an energy that continues on. And I remembered that same thing, going, I didn't even get to see my parents. It's like, my personality was definitely still there. I'm like, I got gypped. I got cheated here,
And that's the conducting spark and frequency that we channel from people on the other side.
Correct.
And they still have that personality. They still talk like that. They still crack you up if they had a great sense of humor, or they're very nurturing and all that kind of thing. All those things, that is really kind of the spark of the soul, the spark of their, the frequency that, we channel on the other side. The funny thing about me was that I just wanted to fly around. I, really wanted to, I kind of was like, this is not interesting watching this person lay there, who is me. And I was just like, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I just went, like, so fast. Like an elevator, but like 1,000 times faster than an elevator, and just went right in back into the body.
Yeah, G-force.
That G-force. Now, from your point of view, I know that you have changed, and from my point of view, I was not afraid to die anymore. I was not afraid of death. I had nothing. I was just like, okay, been there, done that. There's nothing to it. And I think, as you were saying, once the veil is broken like that, you really change your perspective
Oh,
on
yeah.
on
It
everything.
is life-changing. Anybody
Right.
that you've seen,
Yeah.
they will go in a total different direction. And like I said, even with my career, it was difficult to be back in that position and know and see and hear, the things that I was doing. And I honestly had to learn to filter
Mhm.
because I had so much coming in at one time. And you talk to anybody or see anybody, and their whole outlook has changed. There is a continence about them that has changed. And I can see in auras of people where even in their auras, there's like a little tear. And then it's been mended up, like they peeked through the veil onto the other side, and then it's been mended up. And so I can tell when somebody's actually even had a near-death experience.
Popped out.
Popped out, peeked through onto the other side of that veil. But
Yeah.
that veil is getting more and more thin all the time.
It's
There's
been
more that are being able to experience us. And we
yes.
all have these gifts. There's not some that, don't. We have all come in with that. And at an early age, you see this with children. They're able to, hear, see, feel things. And then some of us have developed, though, one of the clairs more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where everybody needs to know that we all have these gifts. We have all been, it is our birthright.
Right.
And being able to just hone in or be able to feel what is, your strongest one. I think that's what, we're all trying to do here. And that's when somebody says, oh, what's my life purpose? What should I be doing? Whatever you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
You can't mess this up. That's my other, big message is
Right.
we're here to experience everything. And there is no right, wrong, good or
The
bad
sound
way
is
to.
going out again.
Oh, no.
Hello?
Come back in. I can hear you.
There we go.
Okay.
Shorting out.
Mercury retrograde. Gotta love it.
I know that's why I really wanted to prepare for you to be on the show tonight. I knew Mercury retrograde was going to be a hot time in the old town tonight. Another thing that I think is also working. The veil is getting thinner, but Earth itself is speeding up. The frequency speeds up, so it's almost like it's working on both ends.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, the frequency, there has been 14 frequency shifts just since I was born. Now, I'm an old goat, I get that. But that is just like insane. The Earth has not shifted that fast and gotten to this particular point.
Right.
Forever. So it's kind of one of those things where, wow, it's happening on both ends, and the frequency that I came in on is extremely different than the frequency that the children are coming in at now.
Right. And if you've been around these children, you know that they do not fit the box, fit the mold, fit any paradigm. And that's why I think the education system is having to change. That's why there's more online schooling. These kids are not going to be going into military, making choices for themselves because they're not just following, they're actually coming in with a lot of knowledge that we have learned over the years and the shifting, but they've already come in with this. If you see them, and I think heavens, they're the ones that are going to make the difference. And, they are the ones that are changing that. So bless their hearts.
Yeah, exactly. They were just saying my sound was low as well, so I hope you all can hear me now. I totally get that. A lot of people want guidance, even though we're all on a spiritual path and we're all trying to raise our vibration or frequency. We're all trying to work on our energy centers, our chakras. We're all trying to be kind, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And allow more light in. But we're here to all help each other, and we're here to share what we know and turn it around and, give it to the next person in line, that pay it forward kind of. Yes, the pay it forward theory. And that's why and I know how to read a lot of things, and I know a lot of tools. I have a lot of tools in my belt over the years. But I find that a visual, like if it's a card reading or I find if it's astrology, I can really pinpoint exactly, look, this is the lessons you've already learned. These are the ones that are in your, kind of like in your pantry. You can pick out these.
Right. The potential, yes, the
Yeah.
potential that's there.
Yes, and you
It's
have
all
these
there.
you have these choices, but this is something that's really going to be challenging and really going to appeal to you because you've already done A, B, and C behind you. And so with that, I feel if you can guide each other and say, you're not going to be satisfied unless you're challenged. Another person is going to say, you're not going to get the acceptance or the love unless you do, you go
A, B, and
follow,
C.
follow this path. So I feel like, having some guidance there, and it's always really funny. Every soul knows you're just validating that for the other person.
Exactly. And that is so true. We all have those infinite possibilities. And there, like I said again, there's so many paths, but to have that validation or verification for somebody else, from the other, like you said, the other side, that will give that confidence or that person, that extra, like you said, support that they need to move forward. And I've seen the tools in our toolboxes aren't working like they used to anymore. And so we're having to revamp that. My, meditation that used to put me in this, this kind of state of mind. Sometimes that's not working now. And so we are looking, outside for other, things that are going to help us to keep that vibration up. But it's changing, and it's being able to stay calm in this chaos and to find new things that are working, but it's going to be individual too. There is every book you could read out there, every guru that you could go to, but you know who is the ultimate one that's going to be able to tell you what is best for you is you. And that's where the great I am comes in. And I had this the other night. I was writing out the word I am. And I had the title I and then the words AM, Ascended Master. So
I love that.
Isn't that beautiful? I looked at that and went,
Love it.
That's good. That's really good.
That's really good. That's crystal clear.
The great Ascended Master. And
Yeah.
we are all those masters inside. We've done the teaching, we've done the student part, and now it's moving into that next higher, consciousness. So that was kind of cool, I thought.
Oh my God, that's awesome. We have some people, new people, in the chat room that are just coming in right now. I believe it is, let's see, Maria came in. Hey, Maria, how are you? She says she's listening while she's wrapping up work. And she says, listening to your story and validation of life and our eternal souls. Yes, absolutely. Celeste is here. Can I please have a love reading? What do you see for me this year? Do you see marriage?
Can we get Celeste's birthday by chance?
Oh, Celeste, can you chime in with your birthday by any chance? And she also says, what is my purpose on earth? I think she was just kind of, leading you into what you were talking about, which is perfect,
And the first thing that came when you said Celeste, Celeste, that name is celestial.
It is.
Your purpose here is to be here. First and foremost is going to be love yourself. And everything else will fall into place. It feels like there's some scattered energy right now. Yeah. Bring it all back in. Bring it back into that inner you. What brings you joy? Nothing on the outside is going to make you happy. No one else is going to fulfill that for you. And so being able to come back to you, that great I am, again, Celeste, is what is going to be important for you in the next, and I'm seeing threes around her for some reason, which,
Mm-hmm.
the 369, by September, something
Mm-hmm.
is going to be shifting. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I just want to go back to her name, Celestial, Celeste. She has everything she needs within inside of her to move forward, whichever direction she wants.
Exactly. And when you were talking about kind of scattered energy, I was feeling that as well. And I felt as if, there's a little bit of grounding that needs to take place. Um,
Up
and
in the
when I
higher chakras. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I say grounding, I really like to open up the base, and then you can work from there on your chakras. So learn your chakra energies for yourself. Grounding is one thing that what I like to kind of focus on is the moment. Not what's going to happen in the future, not getting lost in the perhaps judgment of the past, but just really ground yourself. Go for walks in nature. Put your hands into the dirt of Mother Earth and ground that worrisome anxiety energy. Shake it off. That's what's so great about Mother Earth is she takes it like lightning bolts. She just takes it. She takes it and she just puts all that energy where it needs to go. And so I feel like there's a little bit of frayed electro light coming off of you, perhaps through some trauma. So we could do some light work, some light grid work with you as well. That would really expedite the grounding so that you can move in a very secure, make your decisions in a very what's good for your foundation so that you can get that security that you really desire. Okay, so you can go to my website, KimlaDodds.com, and we'll do a session on the light resonance healing as well. Hey, Mary, how can we get a hold of you? Everybody loves you. You've just mesmerized everybody in the chat rooms. So I'm sure they're going to want to kind of come to you for a little guidance, if that's okay. Hello, hello, hello. Are you there? Okay. Mary, are you there? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay. So I don't know what happened to Mary, but I don't know if you all can hear her, but I can't hear her very well at all, as a matter of fact. So hopefully we'll get her back on. Her name is Mary Karman. Karman, and I'll type it into the chat room. And in the meantime, if you would like to have, there she is, if you would like to have a reading or perhaps if you'd like to have a mediumship reading, Mary's I know that if you friend her, she will give you all of the latest in her sessions and whatever services she has for you. The audio is acting up a little bit. Like I said, we've got a lot of static in the cosmos that are happening. There's a lot of things that we can do as far as having tolerance for other people going on maybe astral journeys or having out-of-body experiences. There's so many things to learn about what that is. Can you travel at night? Do we stay in our bodies? Do our souls really leave when we die? There's a lot of things that we are definitely here to learn about. So in that, Mary, she just texted in and she's having some computer problems. So we're trying to get her back up so she can say goodnight to everybody. So anyway, she's trying to come on up. Okay, so Elizabeth says, lots of changes around me at work. I have been doing my best to stay calm and keep job hunting. Any messages for me? It is time. And time, there's divine time as well. There's something that I want to say that I think is kind of fun for you, Elizabeth, and that is that I want you to do some sun meditations. And I don't know if you've got a lot of gifts within yourself. You've got a lot of knowing and intuition on your own, but I feel like there's some type of connection with a sun goddess. And I feel like that is coming up for you. And there's a message there for you. And I don't know if this particular sun goddess tells me that they're going to kind of have a ray of sun, like a light actually, leading you to a path where you are to look for employment. It's kind of odd how they're showing me, but the sun goddess is the one to really kind of befriend, give permission to guide you, because I see that this particular next level for you does hold some really good financial opportunities. But let the rays of the sun ray, let that particular frequency guide you. Okay, Elizabeth? Because I'm seeing it all over. Okay. Narella says, will I find romance again? You know what? I have a feeling that you are, but I have a feeling it's next year. I don't know if I've ever said that to you before or not, but I feel like next year is going to be a great year. And I feel like the romance, it's not going to be romantic at first. It's going to be really like best friends. You're going to do a lot of things together, but it's going to be closer and closer and closer with each time you spend together. So I feel like maybe at first it will just be kind of a friendship, but then it's going to deepen, and I think it's really going to be so much better. And it will be romantic. But I think next year for you, darling. Okay? Okay. Let's see. But what else is shaking here? We've got this wonderful group going on. Okay, so Vanda, what's going on with Miss Vanda? She has she has said that she's wondering what she should do as well. And she's like, she's always saying, well, I don't know what I should, if I should stay, if I should go. And I feel like, Vanda, if you are into, and I don't know if you've taken Reiki or not, but they're showing me some healing energy around you. And I don't know if you've got somewhere to go where they have their hands activated, or perhaps you have, but I feel like healing energy is coming up for you. If you feel like you're stuck in a place and you're not getting to the next level, pick up some study with Reiki, or because I feel like hand activation, give of service. When you give of service to others, that really is going to shift you into the next level of where you're going to be, open up doors for you, and you're going to be once again, I feel, traveling. But I feel like there's some type of a low point in your health, and so we need to kind of energize you. So I feel like an energy healing, either you giving it or you receiving it, or both, is really going to expedite your shifting, if that makes sense to you. So there you are with that one. So Elizabeth says, they have other people doing my work now. Thanks. I need help as soon as possible. Okay. So Elizabeth, like I said, that sun goddess is coming up. Is a really good time to do that is the weekend of August 11th, when this eclipse is coming up. I think that's going to be really good for you. So do a sun goddess meditation and hook into that, like I said before. Okay. Mary, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. We've missed you.
Oh, welcome. Oh, my gosh.
I know.
All of a sudden, everything just went completely dead. Welcome to With This Energy. We got to laugh at it.
Absolutely. When you do live radio, you never know what's going to happen, right? Well, Mary, how can people find you? Hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can.
Okay, they can find me on Facebook at Heartlight Healing, I'm also, it's metaphysical intuitive insight. And just look under Mary Karman, and that's Karman, like karma with an N. My dad's name was Karmanowski. He was Polish and was able to shorten it to Carmen because they couldn't pronounce it. So that's where they can locate me at. So I think that those would be the two best places to go first, is on Facebook and look me up.
Very good. Hey, thanks for being my special guest tonight, Mary. I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties at the end, but your story is so inspiring, and it just really, I mean, you can just feel the love gushing out of you. So they must have poured tons and tons and tons inside of you and then sent you back to Earth so you could just share it with all of us, because we all felt it right here tonight. So thank you so much.
It takes one life to know another life.
Okay, I don't know if anybody can hear her, but I'm sure she said thank you very much. And hey, thank you everybody for coming along with me for this hour. I'm going to meet you right back here next Thursday. And for everyone, really kind of take a look at this weekend. This weekend is really going to be a great time to ground our energies in before shifting for the next eclipse, which is on August 11th. So have a nice, secure, grounding, earthy, Moon and Taurus weekend this weekend. And until next time, may the angels protect you and guide you. Good night, everyone.
All right, you're clear, ladies.
Oh my gosh, what?
Oh, wait. Hold on.